It all started on a typical evening, one of those nights that blends into the backdrop of everyday life. The couch was our usual spot after work, the place where we spent most of our time together. The soft glow of the living room light flickered, and the TV hummed in the background, providing the kind of noise that made it easy for us to coexist without much thought. Those moments should have felt peaceful, but there was a sense of distance, an unspoken disconnect between us. We were physically together, but emotionally we had drifted apart. For some time now, I had sensed that something was off, but I avoided confronting it. Our routine had become so comfortable, so familiar. She would come home from work, and I'd be doing my own thing. We'd exchange small talk about the day's events, weekend plans, or the occasional comment about needing a vacation. It was the kind of conversation that didn't require much effort. But beneath it all, I could feel the weight of something unspoken between us, a crack in the foundation of our relationship that I couldn't quite identify. That night, though, she seemed different. Her eyes kept darting around, as if there was something on her mind. She was unusually quiet, even for her, usually the one to keep things moving in a conversation. She leaned back into the couch, lost in thought, and the air seemed to carry a strange tension. Then, out of nowhere, she dropped it. "What do you think about the idea of an open relationship?" she asked, as if it were a casual question. But there was something in the way she asked it, like she had been pondering it for a while, and was now tossing it out to gauge my reaction. My mind froze. Open relationship. The words hit me harder than I expected. They stung like a slap to the face. Her voice was calm, even indifferent, but my heart was pounding in my chest as 1,000 thoughts raced through my mind, trying to grasp what she was really saying. I couldn't respond immediately. It wasn't the kind of question you could answer without first understanding the magnitude of it. It felt like she had just opened a door to something that could shatter everything we had built. I needed time to process it, to figure out what this meant for us. I sat there in silence, trying to find the right words. She noticed my hesitation and quickly tried to explain herself, almost as if she could sense how taken aback I was. "I don't mean it like you think," she said. "It's not because I don't love you. It's just that I think I need to explore. I want something more. I still want to be with you, but I want to experience other things too. For me, just for me." Her words felt like a punch to the gut. She loved me, yet she wanted to be with other people. She wanted more from life, from our relationship, but only for herself. She was asking for the freedom to explore, to be with others, while still keeping me in the picture. She wasn't asking for the same freedom for me. No, this was something she wanted for herself, and I was simply the man who would stay, the one she would keep around as she ventured outside of what we had built. As I listened to her, I felt the weight of betrayal press down on me. How could she ask me for this? How could she believe that the relationship we shared, the trust and connection we had built, could survive under these circumstances? I looked at her, searching for any sign of remorse or hesitation, but all I saw was someone who had already made up her mind, someone who had already chosen this path and was now waiting for me to accept it. Anger began to rise within me, a slow, simmering burn. It twisted in my chest, knotted at my insides. But I didn't say anything. I didn't lash out. I sat there, frozen, listening to her words, which seemed to fall from her lips so casually, as if they were nothing. "Why?" I finally managed to ask, my voice barely above a whisper. She shrugged, her expression softening as if she thought this would make sense to me. "Because I feel like I'm missing something. I need to find it, to figure out who I am outside of this relationship. You're amazing, you really are. But I think I need to know what else is out there. It's not about you, not at all. It's just about me and my journey." Her words were supposed to comfort me, to reassure me that this wasn't about anything I had done wrong. But they only made it worse. This wasn't about her journey. It was about her wanting more, wanting to test the waters with someone else while keeping me around as her safety net. I wasn't going to be some side character in her story. I needed time to think, to breathe, to understand what was happening. But I soon realized there was no escaping it. The words had been spoken. The request had been made. And now I had to decide, would I accept this? Would I stay in a relationship that no longer felt like it was mine to shape? Or would I walk away and let everything crumble? For a while, I did nothing. I didn't react. I didn't make any decisions. I let her talk, let her continue, as if everything was fine, all the while watching her slip further away. I saw the way she started staying out late, the way her eyes sparkled when she spoke about someone else, the way she seemed lighter, freer. And it crushed me. I wasn't enough for her anymore. She had already moved on in a way I wasn't prepared for. But silence, as it turns out, gives you time to think. As I watched her drift further away, something inside me shifted. I realized that I had a choice too. I didn't have to passively accept this. I didn't have to wait around for her to decide whether or not I was enough. I could take control of my own path. And for the first time in a long while, I knew that it was time for me to make a decision, not based on what she wanted, but based on what I was willing to accept. I didn't have to let her control everything. If she had the freedom to explore, why couldn't I? Why should she be the only one allowed to satisfy her curiosity? So I started making my own plans. I wasn't going to just sit back and accept it. If she thought she could play this game, then I would play it better. But I wasn't going to tell her. I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of knowing that I was taking control of my own life, my own choices. I started going out, not just with friends, but with women. Casual dates, nothing serious, but enough to make me feel alive again, to feel desired. It wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about hurting her. It was about reclaiming something I had lost in all of this, my own power. And she didn't know. She didn't suspect a thing. She was so caught up in her own experiences, so lost in her own world, that she didn't even notice the distance that was slowly growing between us. I had become a ghost in her life, a shadow of the man she once knew. I wasn't just physically absent. I was emotionally distant, detached, and I had hurt her in ways she couldn't see. Not at first. But then one night, after a particularly long week, she came home earlier than usual. Her smile was forced, and she didn't seem as excited as she normally did. She asked me if I had been seeing someone else, and her voice wavered as she said it. I didn't lie. I didn't play along with her anymore. I told her the truth. Yes, I had been seeing other people. Yes, I had been dating. Her face drained of color. The smile faltered, and the joy she once had disappeared. All that remained was a silent, angry stare. "What the hell do you mean?" she whispered, as if the words couldn't quite reach her. "I mean exactly what I said. You wanted an open relationship. You got it. I'm not the only one living in this arrangement. You're not the only one getting freedom." Her eyes widened, and she took a step back, like the ground had just been ripped from beneath her. She wasn't angry. No, she was something worse. She was hurt and confused, and I could see in the way she looked at me. It was as if I had just betrayed her. "You're supposed to be okay with this," she cried. "I thought you understood." I took a deep breath. I did. I thought I did too. But I don't anymore. The silence that followed was deafening. Neither of us spoke. We didn't need to. The truth was out in the open, raw, undeniable. I had been playing her game, following the rules she set. But now the game was over, and I had won. She left the room that night. She didn't yell. She didn't scream. She just left, and I didn't chase her. I didn't stop her. And for the first time in a long time, I felt free. I had played along with her rules, had followed her lead, and in the end, I had taken back what was mine, not out of revenge, but out of necessity. The relationship we had was broken. She had taken what she needed from it, but I had gotten something too, my own freedom. And in the end, that was all that mattered. The truth was undeniable. The open relationship she had suggested, meant to be her way of exploring, had become my way of liberation as well. We had both stepped into an arrangement that had fundamentally changed us, but not in the way she had imagined. While she sought something external to fill a void, I had found something far more profound within myself. The strength to reclaim my power, to no longer remain passive in a relationship that no longer served me. It wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about playing games or getting even. It was about recognizing my worth and no longer allowing myself to be someone's second choice. She had chosen her path, and in doing so, had unintentionally forced me to choose mine. I didn't need her approval, her validation, or her permission to live my life. The silence that followed her departure was deafening. But in that quiet space, I realized that sometimes the hardest decisions lead to the clearest moments of self-realization. It was no longer about what we had lost, but about what we could both gain by stepping away from each other. And while it hurt, I knew it was the only way forward. In the end, she walked away from the relationship we had built, just as I had walked away from a version of myself that had allowed her to make the rules. I had played her game, and now it was over. But in the ashes of that game, I found the most important thing, my own peace. And that peace was worth more than anything.